Hey, everybody. What is going on? So, I am live in three places right now. Okay. I am live on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram, and I am live here on TradingView. And so, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for joining me. Now, for my Instagram people, it has been a while since I have been on Instagram. So, thank you guys for rocking out with me as well. Like, I really do appreciate that. Okay. And speaking of Instagram, like yesterday, I had a gentleman come on. I put where did I put up a reel of me in a hotel, talking about resting or whatever. And he said, "Oh, you thick." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm thick, thick as THICK." And he's like, "No, I'm thick like THICC." And now like, "Oh, okay, well, thank you." Like sometimes I feel like I'm thick in all the wrong places, but also in all the right places when it counts, if you count my drill. So, gotta catch it though, because us thick chicks, we like to be caught and held on to. You know what I mean? So I just want to tell you thank you for that compliment. So today what we're going to be talking about, you guys, is how to enter multiple trades on one currency pair. So if you're here on Instagram land, y'all, I'm on YouTube as well. My handle is, or my channel name is SLFX. SL, the initials of my name, FX Trading. I have a full presentation, like a beautiful presentation for y'all today because I'm trying to outline this thing for y'all, okay? So we're going to be talking about how to enter trades on, how to enter multiple trades on one currency pair. All right. Now, my people on YouTube land, my people here on Instagram land as well. Full presentation. If y'all have a question, type out the question as we go. I'll try to answer it as we go, or I'm going to answer the questions after the live sessions, okay? Because I want y'all to follow me. I want y'all to be engaged with me today. Presentation style means you just gotta be engaged. We're talking about trading. I want charts up on the screen, okay? Now, let's talk about if this is a session that is for you, okay? If you feel stuck behind your computer when you're trading and you cannot seem to back away from your price charts as price is moving, this is for you. If you feel like you overanalyze one currency pair, you're entering too many trades, or you can't find a trade at all, this is going to be for you. Or if you have no idea how to let your trades run, this session is going to be for you. And so what I want you guys to do is comment which category you fit in so I can know exactly who I'm speaking to. Am I speaking to the person who feels stuck behind the screen? Am I speaking to the person who's over analyzing? Am I speaking to the person who cannot find trades? Am I speaking to a person who has no idea how to let their trades run? Talk to me. Tell me, who are you? Okay. Now, here's why you might feel stuck on your charts, okay? School and 9 to 5 has us wired this way. If you think about it, when we went to school, we were stuck in one building. When you work a 9 to 5, you're stuck in one building, right? And so you're stuck there for hours at a time. You're studying, you're doing homework, you're going from this block to this block, or this period to this period, or this class to this class. You're going to work, you're going to lunch, you're going back to work, then you're going home, right? But at the end of the day, when you finish school and you go from a 9 to 5, when you go to a 9 to 5 and then you got to work all these hours, you're expecting a paycheck for your hard time. And the charts can feel the same way. It can feel like a 9 to 5, okay? And tell me, people on Instagram land, if y'all can hear me, okay? Because I want to know that y'all hear me, because I have this other mic plugged in, and if y'all can't hear me, that's going to be a problem. All right, so I may need to actually unattach it. So let me unattach it here on Instagram land. All right, so I see a few people say they how to pick a currency pair. You're over analyzing your charts. All right, I see it. Okay, cool, I see it. All right. Now, I remember when I was working a 9 to 5, there was a time when I worked in banks, I only got paid once a month. Imagine getting paid once a month. You don't know when your money is going to come in. Well, you know when your money is going to come in. For me, it was every 25th of the month. But I was going to school at the same time, and I'm sitting there, waiting to be paid. I done all this hard work, all this value, brought it over to my price charts, and then I started to treat my trading as a 9 to 5. If that's you, this is probably why you feel stuck on your charts. You bought the same mindset over, but it's okay because no one tells you how to get out of it when you first start trading. Now, Let's talk about the cause of overtrading one pair or however many other pairs that you have been trading. Because here's the thing, when you first get into trading, every move may look good if you don't know these few things. If you don't know when you don't have a trade, okay? One thing I teach people is to disqualify the trade immediately. Give the reasons why the trade does not look good. Give the reasons why you should not be entering the trade. And my question to you guys is, do you know what invalidates? Okay. Okay, let me get off of Instagram real quick and then come back on because for some reason they can't hear me. And I think it's because I had the microphone plugged in and then I unplugged it. I probably should not have unplugged it, but that's okay. We can always hop back on live, right? That's the beautiful part about technology. All right, there we go. So, yeah, there was a time when I did not know how to disqualify a trade. Like I would get on my price charts, I would sit on my price charts, and I thought that every green candlestick I saw, every red candlestick I saw, I'm like, ooh, I need to just be in the trade. But I didn't know what canceled it out. I didn't know how to stay out of a trade. I didn't know what happens if price reverse. I didn't know any of that stuff, right? And so that's something that, if you're over trading, you just haven't learned how to disqualify a trade yet. The second cause of over trading one pair or however many pairs you're trading is you're wanting to reach profits very quickly. You're not giving yourself the time for the trade to set up or to see it play out. So I don't know how many of you have ever been there. It's like you see a setup, you know where you want to enter the trade, but you go ahead and enter anyway. You enter early because of a few things. You might have FOMO because that happens as well. You're like, well, I really don't want to miss out on the move. Maybe price isn't exactly where you want to enter, and you see that one pretty candlestick, and you're like, ooh, that's a candlestick that I know to enter on. But it's not somewhere where you really need to enter the trade because those things happen too, right? So if you're going through any of this, any of these feelings and emotions of not knowing how to disqualify your trade, entering the trade too quickly, not letting the trade play out to your take profit because of some reason, you're probably doing this because of FOMO, or you want to make your money back if you've been losing trading trade. So you're trying to do the payback thing, the whole revenge trading, or you can even become exhausted and overwhelmed because these things do happen too. That's what over trading does cause. All right. Now, if you have no ideas also how to let your trades run, this is a really big thing. Okay. Um, there are times you may let your trades run, and hear me well with this. It's two types of things here. If you don't know how to let your trades run, you might feel like time is not on your side, right? You're feeling like you have to profit quickly. You're feeling like you got some type of bills to pay, like whatever the case may be, right? You just want to hurry up, grab your money, and go. But then when you come back to the charts, you're like, man, price really did move to my take profit. Man, price really did do what I said that I wanted it to do. What happens is you get this limited feeling. You know you can believe in yourself, but the thing is, you've not believed in yourself long enough to trust your process, right? Because you're afraid that you're going to lose money that you just made. So, I want to know, what are you struggling with? Do you feel like time is not on your side? Do you feel like you feel stuck because you don't know where to start in trading? Maybe you have information overload, you have too much information about trading, or you're just afraid to lose money all around. And so you get in and get out, even though you know you can hold the trade. Now, I'm talking about this because when we talk about setting multiple orders, you have to learn to let your multiple orders run. Okay. So I'm going to read a few comments over here on Instagram land. Um, Hey, you're from Brazil. Hey, David says he's always afraid of losing his profits. And that's a common thing for most people. It goes back to the whole 9 to 5 thing. A 9 to 5 is a secure way for most people, for most of us here, to make money, right? Because if you work hard, you're going to get the check. And trading is not as secure because even though you may trade, you may not make the money, or you may make it and feel like, well, I done made a little bit. Let me go ahead and cash in. But once again, that's crippling you if that's you and if that is your thinking. But now, here's what I want you guys to do throughout this presentation, throughout this live, whether you're on TradingView land, Instagram land, or here on YouTube land. If I make you smile, Or if you get an aha moment, drop an emoji in the comment section to let me know that something resonated with you. Let me know that you're digging deep with me, because I love to dig deep into the psychology of trading. I love digging deep into the emotions of trading, and I want to make sure that you're right here with me. Okay. So, y'all may be asking, who's this chick? Who's this beautiful girl sitting here teaching us? I know, thank you. Okay. I'm one of the only Forex coaches who specializes in teaching one-on-one. All right. I know most people have courses. Most people do signals. I like to talk. The way I'm sitting here teaching you, I teach behind the scenes. I like to teach people one-on-one first, because I'm able to grasp who you are. I'm able to speak in your language. And I don't want anyone else to distract us, because you're not anyone else. You're you. And I want to treat you like a person, and I'm not an impersonal person. Okay. Also, I have a background in working at banks. I've actually exchanged foreign currency across the counter when I lived in Germany. Most people ask for licenses. I'm like, hey, I've done this in real life. Okay. So, what better person to talk to than the person who understands rates, the person who understands what you're trading? That's I. Okay. I also specialize in helping struggling traders learn how to swing trade properly. It takes me 6 weeks to teach. 6 weeks equals 6 hours. Okay. I'm not a person who will sit here and say it takes a year to learn. It does not take a year to learn how to trade. If you understand one concept, you can learn the concept in a few hours to a few weeks. But then the profit side can take a while, because things change. You learn to adapt, right? But it doesn't have to take long. And I have plenty of people who can back that up. Okay. And I also help people pass prop firm challenges. This year, I've helped about 6 traders do that. Now, prop firms are not easy to pass. It can take people a few tries, which means it can equate to a few months. But my goal and my job as your coach is to help you identify your trading goals. Once you tell me, we sit there and we work out the numbers. I work them out with you. The number of trades you need to lose, how many you need to win, your risk percentages, all of that. Because I'm kind of a math nerd, in case y'all did not know. And nerds just do it best sometimes. So it's okay. All right. Now, Mariah says, I love your content and humility. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Sydney says she is the truth. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate that as well. And Sydney, you're right. Even the best traders have losing streaks, and they do. And we're going to talk about that today as well. So, why more than one trade? That's like the burning question. Why enter more than one trade? The reason why entering more than one trade is because you're giving yourself the option to rest while the trade works for you. Let's still go back to the 9 to 5 mentality. A lot of you guys here may work 9 to 5, or you may be a full-time mom, a full-time dad, work from home parent, single person who works from home, who works a full-time job, who goes to school. I don't know your life story. I would love to know. But the thing about it is, you got to learn in trading to give yourself time to rest. A lot of us come to this market full fledged. I gotta spend day and night. Gotta spend day and night. No, you don't, baby. You got a life. And it's best to let the trades work for you. Don't turn in the 9 to 5 to make trading another 9 to 5. That's one of the last things that you want to do. Now, when you're putting in more than one trade, you're trusting the trade to move a longer distance than where you would normally enter the first trade. And we're going to do some type of engagement work today while on the chart to show you how that looks and what that looks like. I'm a person who likes distance because I want to get more pips. I think the less pips that I get, and I used to be a day trader, the less pips I get, that means the more I have to come back to the chart to work. I don't want to keep coming back to my chart to find a trade. Not every single day, especially because I'm a swing trader and I help people learn how to swing trade. So the longer I let the trade work for me, the more I get to back away from my price chart. And that's what I want you to experience when you're putting in more than one trade. But also, you're not babysitting the market. You're allowing yourself to buy back time into your life. This morning, I normally wake up around 4:30. But this morning, you guys, you know what I got to do? I got to wake up, spend some time with my husband. I got to get my kids ready for school, drop one off to the bus stop because the other one can just go to the bus stop himself. And I went to the gym, came home, chilled for a bit. Now I'm talking to y'all, and it is 12 o'clock. I have one trade running for me. No, actually, I don't have one trade running for me. I'm putting one trade this week already, but I have 4 positions running for me, right? And if you follow me on YouTube, I showed you that yesterday on YouTube, especially how I'm up 500 pips on one currency pair right now. Why am I up 500 pips on one currency pair? Because I'm allowing it to work for me, like you can allow it to work for you. I am buying back time in my life. And that is something that I want you all to learn how to do and experience as well. But here's the thing, you gotta be in the trade first. You gotta push the button first. You have to do research. Now, I want you guys to rock with me on this, all right? As y'all are listening to me on Instagram, as you are looking at this presentation with me, I want y'all to take notes. Take notes on the next few slides, okay? One, how many of you have an organized flow? When you come to your charts, you know, the time you're coming to analyze, it could be different from time to time. Like for me and my people, we get together on Sundays, right? But we have a flow. We look at this pair, this pair, this pair. And it could be random pairs. It really doesn't matter. But the way we look at them are the same. Every step is the same. We're not using anything different on different currency pairs, different movements. We don't need to do all of that. How many of you have an organized flow? Type that in the comments for me so I can know. Okay? I'm gonna go back and read it too. All right. But yeah, you want to have an organized flow. You want to have a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC process, right? Something that gets you from the beginning to the end. What you want to know are these few key things. You want to know if it's time for you to enter a trade. As a swing trader, I know that when I come to my charts, the majority of the time, I need to wait throughout the week for price to give me the entry. But it doesn't mean that I don't have a setup. It just means that my setup may be there. It's just not time for me to enter the trade. Or there may be times when I say, hey, Mariah, you said you do good, girl. I'm so glad that you do, mama. There may be a time when I come to my chart and I'm like, okay, it's Sunday. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to enter this trade because I don't trade on Sundays. Once again, it's a part of my organized flow. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for price to move a little bit, right? So you got to know or speculate or assume when you can enter a trade. Okay, so that's number one. You just got to know that part. You don't want to second guess your entry as well. And that's why I'm saying that, right? Mariah says daily 4-hour H1 or 30-minute entry. I don't know if you're asking that or you're saying that's you, Mariah. So make that plain, okay, mama? Make that plain. All right. But I don't want to second guess my entry, right? So here's how you don't want to second guess your entry. What you need to know your take profit. You need to know where you want to be stopped out if you get stopped out. And you need to know how much you'll make versus how much you'll lose. And that goes into your risk management and your reward. Okay. Now, I want to ask you guys, if you don't have an organized process, what step do you think is missing? Like, comment that in the comment section as well, because we can talk about it as well too. But just remember, everything that we're talking about is going to lead you to entering your first trade. Now, here's an example. If you're here on TradingView and YouTube, you get to see this with me, okay? So remember, the first trade is your foundation. This is what sets the tone for you because I want you to have a sense of control, even though you can't control how the market moves. And here's the reason why. In life, we don't have a lot of control over things that happen. You don't have control over who gets fired, who hires you, unless you have your own business. You don't get to control how people treat you. You don't get to control what people say to you, how they address you. There are a lot of things that's out of our control. But what is in control is how you perform in this market based on your entries, where you want to enter. Like, your setup is your control. Like, a lot of people go into business because they want to be in control of their schedule. A lot of people work a 9 to 5 because they want to be in control of their time after their 9 to 5, right? So you got to kind of pick your battle with the way that you make money in this life, because that is very important. Now, when talking about control, the first trade or any of the trade that you enter, you got to see the move play out before it actually plays out. You got to envision that thing. You got to see the beginning to the end. Like, you got to be able to close your eyes and see the move before it happens. If I enter here, price could do this, it could do that, it could move like this, even though you can't see it. Well, you can't control it, but you got to be able to see it. And this is all a part of pre-market analysis. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of that word, but that is what you do before you enter the trade. Oh, you're telling me that's how you analyze the chart every time you show. Okay, good stuff, mama, good stuff. Okay, so I'm glad you know your time frame. So that's good. That is really good. Folks, he said, what best time frame for entry using daily or 4 hour for analysis? We'll talk about that in this presentation. Okay. But I just want you guys to remember pre-market analysis is you in visualizing the trade before it happens. And this is why I'm asking, do you have a process? Now, dig deeper, Mariah. Dig deep, folksy. Even you're asking me a question. Dig deep with your pre-market process. This is not just time frames, right? When I get into a consultation call with people, I ask them to tell me the flow of their process. Like you just mentioned your time frames. What do you do on each time frame? What makes this setup so important that you need all of those time frames? Right? What is the purpose? Like if you start on the daily, what are you looking at on the daily time frame? What are you putting on that time frame to show evidence of what you see? Because what you see has to be put on that chart. And that goes with your trading plan. It has to come to life. You're making the trade come to life because you're going to follow the same process for every trade that you take. Remember, we are building the foundation. Nothing just starts out of thin air. You got to go get the supplies. You got to go build that thing out, right? That's exactly what you are doing. Okay. Uh I pray I say your name right. Bell Crypt, I pray that's your name, says, I personally do have an organized flow. It makes everything easier for me because I know what I'm looking for and what's not valid and don't have to second guess anything. That is beautiful because that's exactly what you want. That's creating a system, right? So let's talk about this trade here that you guys see. If y'all can't see it on Instagram, you got to follow me on YouTube, SLFX Trading, or you got to be here on my trading view to see the presentation because now we're actually looking at a chart. Well, a mock-up of a chart, but it's a real chart. It's a real move that just happened, okay? So let's look at this pair right here. First, remember we're coming first, right? First, the currency pair is in a downtrend. One of the things I love to teach my clients first is figure out who you are. What is the trend? You know who you are when you can identify yourself as a buyer or not or a seller. I'm not in this market to be both at the same time. I'm not hedging every trade that I take. I'm in the market to flow with the trend. Like you have to name yourself. You have to identify yourself. When you knock on somebody's door, no one just lets you in if they don't know you. You have to identify yourself. Give yourself identification, right? So the price in the downtrend, the moment I say downtrend, I know I'm a seller. I don't care about no bullish candlesticks. It's only unless it's getting to where I want to enter the trade, right? Downtrend. If you guys are looking, price made a new low here at 1.29677. That is lower than the previous low at 1.29678. Literally by less than a pip. It still counts. Every pip counts here, right? The belief is price will sell off. So now I gotta envision that I am going to be the seller. Now I'm also envisioning how is it going to look. Now, before I move on, here's what I want to know. Do you agree with the sale? Yes or no? Who here agrees that price can sell off looking at this mock-up? Because this was an actual trade. Do you agree? Everyone who's here on Instagram, everyone now Instagram people, y'all can't see it. You got to be on Trading View, or you got to be. I'm gonna actually put my YouTube channel here so y'all can see the presentation, so y'all can follow along with me. Okay. Follow me, and my live should be up when you guys go to YouTube. Do you agree that price can sell off? Now, once you say yes, if you say no, you have no trade. But if you say yes, now you have to envision where you're going to enter the trade. Just because you say yes to an ideal, and this is something I see a lot of people make a mistake on. They say yes to an ideal and immediately think they should enter the trade. You still got to wait for it to set up and give you a reason to enter the trade. That's an organized flow still. We can't rush, okay? Now, the first trade is something you want to treat as a tester, all right? When we were looking at this was the candlestick that had formed, and then price came back up. Now, I'm a person now who is dealing and teaching with limit orders, right? I want to get triggered into a trade automatically. I don't want to have to fool around with price action all the time. I want to just be in the trade when I'm in the trade, right? And every entry is going to look different to everybody. But that first trade, the foundation that you enter, you got to treat it as a tester. Is this trade going to stand on solid ground? That is what we want to know. Especially if you have a strong trend, because if you are right, price is going to hit your TP, and you'll find more confidence in letting the second trade run. Now, here's why I'm saying this. A lot of times when we're talking about trading psychology, a lot of people don't have confidence in themselves to hold a trade. A lot of people don't also have confidence to let the first trade run in their favor. A trade like this, and I wanted to use a trade that was so realistic. A trade like this, you guys, as y'all can see, and this is a real trade that I entered. Once again, go back to my YouTube, one of my previous video. This is a setup that I was in, and it ran up, almost took me out, but I'm up over 200 pips on this one trade alone. This is Euro CAD, okay? When I enter two trades at one time, I'm entering, and this is two ways to do this. This is the first one I'm going to talk about. I'm entering both trades at the same time. Same price, same stop loss, but there's something that's going to be different on that second position. Because the first position, if price in a downtrend, what I am saying is, hey, I want you to run from me down to my first take profit. But my second take profit, I want you to run longer. Because remember what I did in the last slide. In the last slide, I said that price is in a downtrend. When you say that price is in a downtrend, what you are saying is you have the belief that price can pass the previous low. How do we know that? Because it just did it right here. It went from 129,678 down to 129,667. Do I not have the same belief that price could do it again? If I don't, I take that one position and I'm okay with the one position. But if I do, I take the second order and extend that target with the belief you are my runner. You are what's going to not make me come back to this price chart. You are what's not going to have to make me work hard for this trade. I trust that you'll keep running in favor for me. It's a tester. Okay? It's a tester. Diva said, yep, my trades are 0.01. We'll talk about that too. We'll talk about that. Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Pius, as well. Okay, twin trading. I like that. I never thought about it that way. But here's what's different. Like I said, the take profit is going to be different. Now, the second part of this, because this is based on you as individual traders, the tools that you use to enter, like my zone is called my estimation zone. I created the estimation zone because I want to estimate where price can go. Trading is 50-50. No one knows where price is going to go, and I'm not a person who's going to say I'm exact because I'm not. But if I estimate you'll get here, I want to highlight my trade by using this zone. So I call it my estimation zone, my word for my strategy, okay? So you may use a different structure here. You may use support and resistance. You may be a trend line person. You may be an indicator person. So this is going to fit you uniquely. But here's the thing that won't. You have to, and well, actually it will. You have to have the courage to push the button, y'all, for that second position. Because once again, it all boils down to belief. Belief that you'll take profit, even though sometimes you get stopped out, it's fine. Believe that the tools you're using or the structure you're using is going to help you enter both positions, and that you're going to have the courage to push the buttons. Now, I'm a spiritual person, not too much religious, but I do like to use the Bible to kind of aid me here. And I want to share a scripture with you guys really quick, okay? I'm not here to convert you. Don't think that. I just like this scripture. It's about Proverbs 31, a woman, the noble character of a wife. It says this: she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. Proverbs 31, 16 through 18. Here's why I like this. She sees that her trading is profitable. I am here to look at many vineyards, right? I don't have to be in Europe to trade. I don't have to go to New Zealand to trade. I don't have to go to Canada to trade. But I can make money in my living room planting seeds in those areas. You see what I'm saying? The more seeds that I plant and I hold it to watch it grow in my mind and in my heart and in my life, I will be profitable and I will be able to help other people do it, right? That is why we are here today, okay? So if you ever need some encouragement, that is one. But to also say her lamp does not go out at night means that she's prepared. So if she's running out of oil, she has the kerosene, she has the match to light it, she'll keep going. That is knowledge. Knowledge on how to stay prepared and organized. And that's something that we talked about in the beginning. Having a flow, having a system. I'm praying everyone here has a system. If not, we need to talk. Okay? Now, when you're setting a multiple order, you have to believe that price can do exactly what you said it could do twice. And I like what Diva said here. She called it twin trading. And I thought that was so beautiful because that's exactly what you're doing. You're mimicking the first trade. The multiple positions equals faith. That is faith. You having faith that it can do it again. And the running position is you trusting your pre-market analysis. You visualized it before it happened. You said, hey, if I win the trade, this is where the trade can go. If I lose the trade, this is where the trade can go. That's why you put a stop loss, and that's why you put the take profit. And your earnings represents your hard work. I truly don't believe that trading has to be hard work. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Don't get me wrong. But to let the trade run, that's not the hard part. That's not the hard part. The hard part is babysitting it because then you get all of these emotions, and we should not have to babysit our trades. Now, that is the first part. Is everybody with me so far? Because we're about to go into another type of a multiple position. The first type of adding another position is when you add two trades at the same price. We're about to go into another one. So before we move forward, are there any questions? If you're here on Instagram, if y'all scroll up just a little bit, I have my YouTube channel in the link. It's SLFX Trading. If you go there, I have a full presentation, and y'all could join me here on TradingView, or y'all could join me here on Instagram. I'm sorry, on YouTube, so you can see the presentation and chart with us, okay? So any questions so far before we move on? All right, I'm gonna put this in here again, YouTube SLFX Trading. Okay. Was in the USD Swiss for a buy last night, and I wish I held it. Price is exactly what I predicted. Need more faith, belief. Thanks for the lesson. You are very welcome. Yep, it just all boils down to belief, mama. That's all it boils down to. So let's talk about stacking the position, okay? Stacking the position is a little bit different because once you're in your first position, you're kind of gonna let that run a little bit in profit. You're gonna let that trade go in your favor. Once price runs in your favor, and this is what I tell people, it's not always a guarantee, there may be a pullback. Then you enter the trade again after the pullback. Now, this one takes a little bit more work. This is kind of where the patience comes in at, okay? So, once again, talk about the reasons to enter the trade. I want you guys to work this out with me. I want you guys to see, if you can see it, tell me the trend, the reason you would enter the trade, and the price action candlestick that you would enter the trade on. And would you enter for a sale? Yes or no? Now, here's the reason why I want you to work this out with me. Once again, I'm a one-on-one coach. I have group coaching as well. But this is also how I teach, okay? It is really important that when you are learning something from a coach, they're able to walk these things through with you, all right? A course ain't gonna walk you through nothing by itself. But a person who knows what they're doing can walk it through with you and can help you identify if you're right, if you're wrong, and then provide critique. Okay? So let's do it here. I want you guys to tell me what's the trend, what will be your reason to enter the trade, and what price action candlestick would you enter the trade. Okay? Diva says sell downtrend because break of structure. Okay? Break your structure. Okay? Anyone else want to chime in with this as well? David says downtrend. Reason is price is back at zone it previously reversed from. Okay. I entered on 30 minutes. So I would need to see confirmation that sellers are in control before entry. Ooh, let's talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that because I'm glad that you just mentioned another time frame. Okay. All right. So I'm a person who believes in trade what you see the moment you see it. This is a daily time frame analysis. Okay. Let's go over it. Price is in a downtrend. Okay. Y'all can't see it here, but this line right here is the very last low. Price went down past it and went down to 1.17582. The last lower high is at 1.24061. This is a downtrend. Sell. You trade what you speak. Down, sell. Simple, right? Reason to enter. It's not a break of structure. Now, I'm going to explain why I say that. Now I understand the mindset. Okay? And I understand when I teach different people, when y'all say different things, I know how you trade now. Okay? So that's more of a support and resistance person, or more of a person who trades structures as if it breaks and then it rejects it. You see what I'm saying? So this isn't a break of structure. Estimation zones that I use is a highlighter. Your support and resistance is a highlighter. Your trend line is a highlighter. It highlights your entry the moment price touches it. Just because it pushes past it doesn't mean it broke it. It's highlighting. Change the wording a little bit and you'll see your trades differently. Change it differently. So my zone, if you look at it as a marker, it highlights the entry for me. Now, the candlestick I would enter on would be this beautiful inverted hammer right here. I'm going to identify the entry, okay? Identify the one candlestick. I use one candlestick, four candlesticks to enter. I just need one. But this is one of the candlesticks I enter my trades on, okay? I don't care if all the other 30-ish candlestick formations makes no sense anyway. So I'm going to use that to enter, okay? So now I have my reason to want to be in the trade. Just because price in the downtrend, touch the zone, price action candlestick, we in that thing, all right? That's all we need to know. Same for you. Your trend, if it touched it, gave you a candlestick to enter on, enter. Anything else is confirmation or you're being overwhelmed from it. I want you guys to know that, okay? So that part there. Now, you talked about a different time frame, and I loved it. Mariah mentioned a different time frame earlier as well. She listed all the time frames that she used. She said daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, I believe. I'm pronouncing all her time frames right. You mentioned you would enter on the 30 minute, so you would need to see confirmation before you enter. The daily time frame was the confirmation, but I understand you may be on another time frame, so that is perfectly fine. So let's talk about it, okay? This is me dropping down to the 12-hour time frame, already being in the trade. So my entry was all the way up here. Price went into profit. Remember what I said a few previous slides back. Price needs to first go in profit for you. You need to see that, hey, this is a test. Remember, the first trade is a tester. This is a tester. I'm kind of filling out the trade that price could go lower. All right. But remember what I also said was that price has to pull back to a structure. Once again, I have an estimation zone. Now, this time I put another one on my 12-hour, but watch how I do the trend on the 12-hour. Y'all know, and let me go back so y'all can see it. Focus on 1, 2, 3 candlesticks. 1, 2, 3. When I drop that in time frames, this is going to be a higher high, higher low, higher high candlestick. Okay? Trend doesn't change on different time frames, but it supports it. Higher high, higher low, higher high, and in that bearish candlestick I entered on is right in this area here. All right? Price went down lower and made a lower low on my 12-hour time frame. If you want on the 4-hour, you should see the same thing. You don't see anything different besides more fluctuations when you drop down in time frames, okay? But price pushed right back up, stayed below the higher high, right back into structure again, and gave another bearish sign to enter the trade. Once again, you're stacking your position and it may be at a different order, okay? So this is the reason why I entered. Once again, I established trend. Who has control? Rock with me here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Price was still pushing up. But then price made a lower low. I'm going to speak what I trade. I'm going to trade how I speak. Lower low, downtrend, because these are lower lows, right? It's a lower low being made, which means the sellers have control again. And I know that because when I entered the first trade, price went into profit. That's the reversal, because I think David was the one who mentioned reversed. This is a 12-hour reversal. I'm about to put everything y'all say together. And these are from two different people too. I'm going to put it all together. Okay. So then price goes lower. pulls back into structure, and it formed a spinning top, or whatever you want to call this candle here. Harami, whatever you want to call it, hammer, whatever you want to call it. That's the next entry. And if I wanted to take quicker profits, I could go back to the 12-hour lower low. But that's the same thing that I just did here, but this time I just traded down to the daily lower low. Y'all see how I'm keeping the same rules no matter the time frame that I am entering. No matter what I do, same rules. All right. Now, think about this as well. We'll get there too, Bell Crip. Think about this as well. What's different? What was different? The time frame was different because I dropped down. I went from a daily to 12. You may go from daily to 4, daily to 4 to 1, daily to 4 to 1 to 30, right? You got to name those things. What do you do on each time frame? The stop loss is different because the entry price was different. The take profit is different because I'm looking at another fluctuation now. The risk to reward is also different. When you're stacking a trade, what is different? That's another way to say I'm stacking a multiple order. I'm adding onto my position. I'm in this long-term trade, right? But that doesn't mean you can't take quicker profits. Or you could be taking quicker profits if you're a day trader and then enter a long-term trade. It's honestly up to you how you stack. All right. So we're going to run that back. You have to know what lower time frame you're going to enter a trade. If you're going from a high time frame to analyze and then stack a position, what's the time frame lower that you're going down to enter? For me personally, I use multiple, so I'll use monthly, weekly, enter on daily, or I'll use weekly, enter on daily, or now I use daily, enter on 12. Used to be daily, enter on 4 hour, but that 4 hour keep with my behind, right? And that's okay. I can admit that it's okay. That's how you grow. So daily, enter on 12. Some of my people use daily, enter on 4. Some of my people are now using daily, enter on 8. It all depends, especially on how long you want to hold the next trade. In the first trade, the foundation trade, the tester trade. Okay. Now, talk about the pullback here. Where will price pull back when you want to enter the trade? And where are you getting the pullback information from? That's important as well. What time frame will you play structure? Again, remember how we talked about earlier? I said, hey, when you have these different time frames, each time frame has a purpose. What is the purpose of each time frame? And what are you doing? Right? And always know to take profit and the stop loss, but remember to visualize it. Same pre-market analysis process for every trade that you take. Your rule should never change just because you drop down or go up in time frames. Okay? And remember, if you're going to be in a stack position, let the first trade run. If you're in a multiple order with just one price, let the second trade run. Y'all see how it's backwards now? It's opposite. And you don't have to do both. You could do one or the other. One or the other. Okay? Now, I want to make this statement here that Bill Krupp said. He said, I personally use fib retracements and wait to see how price reacts when it reaches my entry point, then enter when I spot a doji or predominantly a strong bearish bullish candle. I love that. I use fibs too for my orders, especially my running positions. If I need something to run past, that fib is on my chart. Now I want you to hear something though. I don't care about levels. I actually I eliminated the levels in between my 0 and 100. There's no 23.8 and 23.6. There's no 38.6. There's no levels in between my 0 and 100. Here's why. Because some of y'all might use Fibonacci here. The reason is because the level doesn't matter. Does anyone know what a Fibonacci retracement measures before we move forward? Anyone know the answer to that? What does a Fibonacci retracement measure? Who can tell me that answer? And I'm going to get a bottle of water because your girl's throat is parched, and that's not a good thing. Hey, I'm trading YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you guys follow me on my YouTube so y'all can see the presentation because I just laid it out for y'all. Okay? All right. So I don't see any answers right now. So I'm going to tell y'all what it measures. All right? You mean like moves in course? No, no, no. Your Fibonacci retracement tool measures the pullback. So the deeper price pulls back, let's say if it goes to your 38.6 or your 50, that's not really a deep pullback depending on the time frame that you're on. There we go. There we go. Somebody on Instagram said it. But the deeper it pulls back, like towards your 61.8 and your 78.6 or wherever you have it, the closer to 100 or the top of the range or the bottom of the range, depending on trend, that's measuring how deep price pulled back. You have a narrow pullback, you have a broad pullback. You have a small pullback, you have a bigger pullback. That's what it's measuring. That's it. There's no golden level. There's none of that, right? Contrary to proper belief, this is just my own opinion. What's gonna always matter is that first position. That's what's going to matter. The foundation of your trade. Why did you enter there? The structure matters before the Fibonacci. That's it. Because you can't control how far it pulls back. And there is no promise that price will even pull back to your structure. There's no promise. And this is why priority and organization matters. Okay? Thought I'd share that for y'all really quick. Now, it's going to go into this. If you do not have a reason to enter a trade, you have no trade. So the things that we talked about in the very beginning, going into now, if you can't envision the next move, there's no trade if you can't see it. Sometimes I see that we can sometimes get hooked up on trading one pair or at least pairs, and then you force trades because you just feel like you just gotta be in one. You need to be in one. No, you need to wait, right? That's what it is. Sometimes you got to learn to be and wait for the best things in your life to happen. And trading is no different. But if you can't see the next move, just go to the next thing. That's all you got to do. You don't have to stay stuck on one thing, okay? If you cannot identify your risk to reward, there is something off. You don't know where you're going to take profit or you don't know where you're going to put your stop loss. And you need both of those. So if you can identify that, have a trade. Um, if you don't have confidence to enter into your first position, you won't have confidence to enter into the second position. Having one position is fine. Like there are times if I have too many trades running, I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want to squeeze in another one. I'll just put in my one position. Or if I don't have a one-to-one on the first position, but my second position, because I'm gonna let it run, if I can squeeze out way more than a one-to-one on that second position, I'll treat my first position as my second position. And I pray y'all catch my drift on that. Okay. Sometimes your first position does not give it to you, but that don't mean you don't have options. Just like Fosky, I think it was no. Bell Crip said, and I love what he said. I use Fibonacci when I don't always have a one-to-one on my first position. I'm gonna give myself an option to enter into this trade, darn it. You ain't gonna tell me not to enter into it. I'm gonna give myself an option. Okay. And also too, if you disqualify your trades because of these reasons, that's a good thing. There is nothing wrong with saying, man, I can't trade this pair. Not today, not this week, not this month. There's nothing wrong with that. It is good to cancel out trades that you may force a trade on, you may revenge trade on, you may over trade on. That's actually a good thing. Okay? You just move on to the next currency pair. That's all you gotta do. Now, here's when you should not add positions. Okay? Remember how we talked about in the last position, price pullback, it stayed under the entry, right? It stayed under where I wanted to enter the trade. If you enter a trade, let's just say price in a downtrend or an uptrend, and the candlestick that you entered the trade on, price past that candlestick, meaning it's closer to your stop loss than your take profit, you don't want to add a position. You don't want to do that because now you're chasing bad money. You're chasing with bad money. You're adding bad money into a trade, and you don't want to do that. That's number one. Okay. If there is no trend to follow, don't add a position. Now, this is only if you're a trend trader. I'm a trend trader. If I don't have a trend to follow, I'm not in the first trade, and I'm definitely not going to be in the second trade. I'm not adding anything. I'm not in anything. Okay. If you have to play defense, hear me well. Uh, there's defense in trading. If let's say you're in a losing streak, if you made some money, let's just say one week you made, let's say $3,000 or $4,000, right? $300 or $400, who knows? And but now you've lost a couple trades. You got to go into defense if it's going to mess you up psychologically, or if you think you're revenge trading. You got to keep the money that you've earned. So now you're on defense. Or if you are in drawdown, you got to play defense. You have to say, you know what, instead of taking two positions, I'm going to start to take one. Because sometimes, you get into this rut where you say, dang, you know what, I'm going to get out of this rut, and you keep trading and you keep trading and you keep adding and you keep adding, and you get further and further and further in drawdown. Then you're like, man, I should never did that. If you've ever been there, you know how that feels. If you've never been there, don't feel how that feels. Don't be like us, okay? Don't have our experience. All right. Let's teach you that. Don't have our experience. All right. Only add good money on top of good money. That's all I want you to do. Add good money on top of good money, because that's what multiple orders are. You're adding good money on top of good money, but it's when everything works in your favor. That's it. It's when it works in your favor. All right, y'all. And now I'm done. Okay, I want to go into some Q&A really quick if some of you guys here have questions. All right, now some of y'all may still have a trading problem, okay? Or you may not be able to get the help that you need, or you're trying to find a coach, or you're going through courses, or just like this, you need someone to speak to. You need someone to see what you're doing. You need someone to kind of look over your shoulder and say, can you see what I see? Or can you help me see what I see? And if this is you, let me help you. All right? So you can book a Fix My Strategy session. If you have one of these problems here, because I want to help you with one at a time, I will back test this with you. If you've never back tested, that's where you take your knowledge or the knowledge you're trying to learn and you test it in the past to see how you're going to do in the future. All right. So if you're having a problem articulating your strategy into a trading plan, I can help you. But let's just say you have a trading plan, but there's something off. And it could be one of these things here. You're having a problem identifying trends on two separate time frames, like how we talked about today. Maybe you got a problem with that. Maybe you can't identify your entry and your stop loss and your take profit, but you can identify trend. I can help you. Or maybe you need to identify how to set up quality trades in a watch list. If you're trading more than 3 currency pairs, and you're like, Shaquan, I don't know how to qualify or cancel out trades. Let me help you with that. All right. And so this is the website you can go to. It's also in the YouTube description. You could book a call. All right. Or if you say, girl, I need a full coaching system, let me help you. All right. I'll walk you through how I trade, where we're going to work together for 6 hours. That's 1 hour a week, literally from point A to point B. I'm giving you the full map, the full system, the full guidance. It takes me about 2 hours to teach people how to trade. That's once again 1 hour a week. And then we're going to risk management. And then we go into you actually taking trades. You got to trade when you work with me. You have to trade. Okay. That is very, very important. And then I'm going to help you with your trading plan because I'm going to create it for you. And then we're going to specifically make it just for you, especially if you're one of those people who say you want to be in a prop firm account and you want to map out your numbers. And then after you get to join my trading community, because I'm not about to leave you out here by yourself in these streets. And I'm not about to sit here and sell you a course. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit here and sell you a course. No, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to walk you through it myself. Okay. But let's go ahead and let's get into questions if y'all have questions. Okay. So Foski asked, he said, you said you use daily and 12-hour time frames. I do. Does that mean you wait 12 hours for your confirmation before entering a trade? That is a really good question because I get that a lot when I teach people. Yes and no. Okay. It depends on the trend. It depends on how trend dresses and disguises itself. I'm not coming to my charts every 12 hours to trade a currency pair. That's not what I'm sitting here doing. What I am saying is, if price allows me to enter, let's just say that I've been waiting a week for a price to set up, then that means I have the opportunity to enter on the daily or the 12 hour. That's what I'm saying. It's just telling me what time frame I'm allowing myself to enter on. Do I see the confirmation candlestick better on the daily, or do I see it better on the 12-hour time frame? That's all that is. Okay. But I did like that question, so thank you for asking. Any other questions? Also, too, let me add this about time frames while it's on my mind because I began thinking about this as well. Time frames tell y'all when to show up. It does. But time frames are also periods of time, okay? So it just basically means how long it takes for a candlestick to open and to close, right? And I'm understanding that I'm working within groups of candlesticks. Am I working with groups of candlesticks that's trading on the daily? Am I working with groups of candlesticks on a 4 hour? So I don't look at everything candlestick by candlestick. I think when you do that, you're putting yourself in the form of day traders or scalpers. For me, being a swing trader, I'm looking at how long it takes for my trade to set up. If I'm on a 12-hour time frame analyzing, it literally takes one of my setups at least, if it's a really tight range, 2 to 3 days to set up, or it could take a full week or 2 weeks. So that means on that one pair, that's how long I don't have a trade for. But at the same time, once I see my entry and I'm able to enter the trade, I got options. Enter on this time frame or that time frame. So that's what I mean, okay? Monty said on your daily price chart, price hold on. On your daily chart, price bounce off support and resistance to be in an uptrend. Wow. Okay. No. Let's go back to that. I don't use support and resistance, sweetheart. I am not a support and resistance trader. That's number one. Used to be years ago. Don't do it anymore. Okay. Price was not in an uptrend. If you are the way you ask that question, let me speak to the wrong side and let me speak to the right side. Okay. Because I want to help you here. All right. First thing is first. I establish myself as a downtrend trader or a seller or an uptrend trader, which is a buyer first. There's nothing on my chart besides my price label tools. You see this tool that has a number right here, and the same tool at the bottom, there's a number. That's a price note tool that TradingView gives us. I put those on my highs and my lows first. There's no zone. There's nothing in between first. That's how I am identifying my trend. So if my price note tools are going down and my exchange rates, which is price, is going down, they're decreasing, that means price is in a downtrend. If price is going up, if you see those prices at the highs and lows are going up, there's no zone on my chart at that time. That means that price is in an uptrend. The moment you add support or resistance, that just says where you want to enter. That has nothing to do with trend, sweetie. So that's the wrong side of it. To say that support and resistance tells you what the trend is, it does not. Support and resistance is the highlighter to say where you're going to enter the trade. I pray I'm making sense. Now, can support and resistance help you navigate through your trends? Yes, but I think it's always a good idea to establish who has control, the buyers or the sellers. If you're only allowing support and resistance to tell you that, that's where you get in trouble. Ask me how I know, because I did that for years and I taught people how to overcome that thinking. Okay? You have to separate structure from trend, and here's how to do it. Don't plot structure first. Anytime I see a trader plot structure first, I make them work backwards. Actually backwards. You got to work forward. Trend, structure, not structure, then trend. I pray that makes sense. Okay? If it does, let me know. If it doesn't, I'll explain it a different way. And let me get into this. You said why was price in a downtrend? Once again, because my numbers were decreasing. Okay. This line here, that was another price note tool, and this low 1.17582 was lower than the very last low peak here. That's what made it a downtrend. If y'all don't know that, hear me well. This is why you need someone to teach you this, because this is how you establish yourself as a buyer or a seller. If you keep getting in on the wrong side of the market, it's a trend thing. It's literally, there's a disconnect there. Okay. David asked, do you recommend swing trading? Yes, I do recommend swing trading on small accounts, but how small is a small account? My smallest account that I grew was $100 into $1,500 in 3 months only trading from a daily time frame. I was swing trading it. Now, 100 to 1500 only on the daily time frame holding trades is really good. And to do it in only 3 months is a remarkable return. Okay. But I don't teach people to trade small accounts. I'm gonna tell you why. It just depends. We're trading to make money, obviously, but we're trading because we know it can change our lives. Small account to some people is $10,000. I've taught some people who say a small account to them is $50,000 because they can afford to put that into the market, right? Their money, their thing. But some people can only afford $100 or $500 or $1,000. And what I tell people is take a part of that $1,000 and go get a prop firm account, but trade it based on your goals. If you say, Shaquan, I want to make $5,000 a month, I'm gonna say, okay, multiply that number times 10. What is that? 50,000. Go get a $50,000 account. Meaning, go to a prop firm, put your money in a prop firm, go for the challenges once you learn how to trade, and you can see that your demo trading is going really well, and you know your numbers and everything, and you know your trend, and you got a trading plan, and all these things put together. And try your hand at a prop firm. So instead of potentially blowing $1,000, take 300 to 400 of that, and then go try your hand at a prop firm. Because more than likely, if you lose the percentage or if you go over the risk amount, then that's probably the amount you're about to blow in an account, right? So really, you're actually better doing a prop firm than your own money if it's less than $1,000. Okay, so that part there. Um, Diva says, don't trade your own money, leverage others. Prop firms is the way to go. Exactly. I 100% agree. When I get into one-on-one sessions with people, I say, hey, listen, how much you want to start with? And they'll tell me. I say, okay, keep that number in mind. What we're going to do is we're going to work on this amount. I multiply it by 10. We're going to work on this amount. Let me show you the difference between these returns and the returns that you are about to gain if you did that small amount. And when they see the difference, they're like, hold up, wait a minute. I want this one. I want to do the prop firm. And we work on those numbers, right? I say, hey, this is how many trades you need. This is how much you should risk per trade. This is how many you can afford to lose. This is how many you need to win with this risk reward. I give them options now, right? And honestly, that's something that some of you guys may need. You may now be at the point where you're like, Shaquan, I need someone to organize my trading life. Organize my trading life for me, right? And that's what a coach does, because once again, courses cannot do this. They can't do that. Hey, Miss Joy, you didn't miss it. You can always go back and watch the replay. So before I go, you guys, are there any more? And if you guys like this, if y'all like this style, let me know that y'all want me to keep coming back. Like the video. Literally go and like the video. Let me know. Should I come and do these once a week? And if so, y'all in the comment section, leave topics. Leave topics, okay? Inspector Crusoe, I pray I'm saying your name here on Trading You, says, what you think about covering swing lows and taking back on swing highs, hedging? Oh, that's a really good question. So let's talk about hedging for a quick second. If you know what hedging is in the comment section, type the number 1. If you don't know what it is, type the number 2. So hedging is basically when you trade in both directions. And I think that there are multiple types of hedges. So one popular way to hedge is you enter a trade at the same price point and you buy and sell at the same time. A lot of brokers actually allow you to do that. Prop firms allow you to do that, but I don't think you should try that in a prop firm. Okay. So they allow you to do that. All right. That's one type of hedging. Another type of hedging is what you just asked. Like, let's say example here. When price was all the way down here, let's just say I knew I wanted to sell from here. So let's just say that I bought from here. Nope, that's not gonna be a good example. Here's another one. Let's use this example here. Let's just say that I had a sale going from up here. Okay, there was a reason I got into a sale from this high. I saw price go down. I believe that price will go back up before going down again. Instead of getting out my original sale, I'll buy. Now I'm in 2 positions. So while this one is running up in profit, this one could still be in profit. My profits just decrease. I'll get out of the buy and then sell again. So that's an example of hedging. That's another example of hedging. That's the second one. The third one is if you trade one pair, let's just say Euro USD, and then you sell or you buy USD Swiss because they move opposite. That's another form of hedging when you trade against different currency pairs that correlate negatively or correlate oppositely. So that's another form of hedging. I think you should only hedge if you know how to do it. That's it. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to be gambling and you could put yourself in a really deep hole. So that part there. Because you also have to know the math behind hedging. That math got to be so on point to hedge. So that's that. Hey, Queen. Hey, Wayne. He calls me Queen Coach. Hey, Wayne. Okay. Um. mm, mm, mm. All right. Diva says she doesn't hedge. She says I made counter trade. Yeah. Well, and that's the point too. Like hedging is a form of counter trading against your trade as well. Um, I think hedging is not bad. I used to hedge. Sometimes I still kind of catch myself in it from time to time too. So hedging isn't bad. You just gotta be careful with it. Okay. So I want to make sure I don't think I missed any questions. I think I answered everything. If y'all have a question, y'all just speak now or forever hold your peace. So, yes. Okay. So, yes. Any other questions before we go? Because your girl got to go. I got to go eat lunch. And I hope y'all want me to go eat. I have to go eat lunch. How to prep for your call. So, it depends on the call, right? So if you want to work with me, it this depends. If you do a one-on-one, like a fix my strategy session, the only thing you need is you. And you just gotta tell me the one main problem you're having because I can only fix one problem at a time in 1 hour. What is the main problem that you're having? And then when we get into the session, I take everything else from there. I have a list of questions, not a lot to ask you, because I need to get into your mind. I got to get into your trading mind for just a second. And then we're going to go and back test some things because you're going to show me how you trade while we're back testing. You're going to show me everything that I need to know. And then I'm going to help you fix the problem while we're back testing in real time so I can see it. It's like going to a doctor, right? You first go through the nurse, they got all the paperwork for you. But once you get to the doctor, he's going to analyze you in real time and tell you what the problem is and how to fix it right then and there. And that's kind of like what I like to do. I don't like to make you wait. Like you need that solution right then and there. Now, if you're doing a discovery call with me to work with me for 6 weeks, you need nothing because there's no money involved. There's no transaction involved at that moment. What you're doing is we're seeing if we are a good fit to work together because in that 6 weeks, that's a bigger investment. And I am literally giving you my blueprint. It don't take 30 minutes though. It's literally 6 weeks. And I'm walking you through the process and I'm trying to get to know who you are and how you trade and what your problems are to see if I can help you. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to help you. And then we're going to set some time once we agree to work together. And we're going to schedule out all of our calls and how we're going to work together, how your client board is going to go because you're my client and you're gonna have priority. Like client is a big word. People like to say students and all that. Now I like to have clients. Like we in this thing together. We rocking together, right? That's what we doing. Okay. David asks, which currency pairs do you love to swing trade most? Oh, David. Oh God. Okay, let me answer the question this way. Ugh. I used to have a favorite. I used to have AU first, and then it went to GJ. Now Now it's more so what has an opportunity. I'm learning to not pick favorites. Let me tell y'all why. How can you tell someone what's your favorite pair to trade? Now this is just for swing traders. Here's why. There are times like Euro USD, let's just give an example. I've only traded that pair once this year. Literally one time. Because it's not really fit my setup. Where years prior I probably traded multiple times. Then AUD USD, I've traded it a lot this year. GJ, I've not traded it a lot this year. And actually, I'm not traded it a lot in the last 2 or 3 months. It's just stuck, right? I'm all about just finding opportunities now in the market. That's it. And it's taken me a long time to realize this, but y'all, I trade everything. Anything that looks good to me that fits my setup, if I disqualify it, it's gone that week because it could come back the next week. I just want the opportunity that fits my criteria. I'm really trying to stop giving things names to say what's my favorite. It's what's going to make me money at the end of the day. It's what's going to bring me the less headache at the end of the day. Some people love US 30 and that's great. I would barely trade US 30, right? Some people like SPX 500. The way I trade, I would barely trade those, right? But when they do have an opportunity, I'll look at it. But if it doesn't have it, I won't. I can't tell y'all now what my favorite is. I can't stick to one thing. That's my problem. I just can't stick to one thing. I can stick to one strategy and trade that one strategy on everything. That's all I can tell y'all. That's it. I'm trying to stop overcomplicating this market. Yeah. I'm mm, yeah. I'm trying to stop doing that. Diva says, I have a friend who is more of a scalper because she's impatient. That I'd love to recommend to you. The only way I'll teach her for 6 weeks is if she's a swing trader. You guys, let me clarify that as well. If you day trade, meaning you look at anything below the 4 hour, I cannot help you. Here's why. I can talk to you, okay? I can still teach you my setup on a higher time frame. But if you want me to go down in lower time frames, I'm not gonna do it. That's a headache for me. That's a headache. I don't do it. I don't do it. Okay. But if you say Shaquan, I'd love to, for you to help me on a 4 hour and above, and then you can use it on a lower time frame. You definitely can. Yes, you can, and you will. Yes, you can. But if I'm not going lower in time frames. I just want you to know that. All right, I'm not going to do that. Diva says AU is my pair. AU is a beautiful pair. Diva says I trade setups now though, but only focus on 8. That's good too. Mr. Anthony says, "Hey, Mr. Anthony, that's one of my clients, y'all. If the let me see what he said here. If the pair that gives you this, it's a pair that gives you the setup at that time, exactly, and that's exactly how I teach. It literally is the pair that's giving you the setup, and that's how we disqualify our trades in my classes too. When we get together on Sundays, I'm not about to sit here and go over every single currency pair. I'm not going to do that. That's a waste of time and energy, and time is something that none of us have on our side, right? I'm like, no, we're giving good energy to the things that can move this week, and if something changes throughout the week, we'll bring it back. So we kind of keep pairs on rotation. For example, oil. I was looking at oil this week, and because she was in a beautiful downtrend. If y'all go to oil right now on the daily time frame, 12 hour, 4 hour, you will have seen her move beautifully to the downside. Now she made a higher high, right, on the daily as well. So now I got to reverse engineer and say I'm no longer selling, I'm a buy now, right? So that's how we cycle things out as well. We put things in and out of rotation. And I didn't enter the sell. I wanted to, but I was like, nah, you ain't give me what I want. I'm cool. You're welcome, David. Fred asks, so in simple terms, what is your strategy? Supply and demand. Literally. Let me explain. Literally, I am a swing trader. I am a trend trader, and I trade based on consumers. That's what I do. When I worked in banks, everything was about consumers. Everything was about the customer and what they wanted. I trade my customers. You trade your customers, whether you believe it or not. Anytime you're the buyer and the seller. In the Forex market, you're trading how many people want to buy currencies at a low price and how many people will buy the currency at a high price. But the beautiful part is you can sell and buy the information, but you're selling and buying based on people's buying options, buying decisions. We do it all the time in real world. There was one point I'm buying gas at $5. Now I'm buying gas at $3.50 or $3.85. But I am still the buyer, but I can sell oil on the exchange and make a profit. But I'm still buying and selling based on people's buying decisions. That makes sense. I pray that makes sense. Okay? I pray that makes sense. I really do. I really do. Okay? Supply and demand, baby. That's how the world runs. Forests don't run on support and resistance. Oh, let me say it again. The world don't run on support and resistance. The world does not run on trend lines. The world don't care about trend lines. The world don't care about support and resistance. The world does not care about a chart pattern. The world does not care about head and shoulders, but the world cares about supply and demand. That's how businesses operate. That's how businesses run. Okay? That's how they run. Um, Diva say oil play too much. Oil's been doing really well though. And that's the thing, y'all. Like anything you trade, if you keep it simple and I love what you said. So in simple terms, that's who I am. Trend trader, higher time frame trader, supply and demand trader, swing trader. That's it. I'm not doing everything else. In this business, you learn to niche down as they use in the business world. We have to do the same thing here. I don't want to trade all over the place because that means my money is all over the place and I could be mixing good money and bad money together. I used to do that for years until I realized I need to stop doing that and get some control over my trading. I used to scalp and day trade until I realized it's taking up too much of my time. I got kids. I got a husband. I want to live my life. I don't want to do all that. So yeah, high and low volume. No, I don't understand what you're asking, Inspector on TradingView. How did you learn to stay calm in a lot of trades to hit profit? Hey, Veronica. Hey, sweetheart. So years. That took me years. Um, when my brain said, Shaquan, let your trade hit profit because you're right. My brain turned that on. My brain said, Shaquan, just let the trade run, even if I was wrong. My brain turned the other way. There is a scientific fact that if you keep trading a particular way and your brain doesn't like it, one, it either becomes a bad habit, or two, your brain shuts itself up and tells itself to stop doing something so you can change the habit. So that's what happened. When I started to realize that I am right more than I am wrong, trading got a little bit better. Now that doesn't mean I'm always in my good setups. It doesn't mean that, because now we're dealing with trading psychology in the human mind, in the being an actual human, right? But what helped me, and it was swing trading, when I realized that I am in control over what I do, not what anybody else does. I put myself as the expert. When I stopped looking on YouTube for the experts to say what was going to happen, when I stopped caring about what so and so is trading, when I stopped caring about the day traders and the scalpers and how much they were making, when Shaquan focused on Shaquan realized what was working for her. And so now I help people do the same thing. When your name starts focusing on you, not only that, but I had to see what was wrong. When I started to focus on one setup and one strategy and I kept trading that one thing, what I did was I started to see everything that was wrong with it and what was hindering it. And what was hindering was when I didn't hold the trade. You ever had that feeling where you don't hold a trade and your heart drops because it keeps hitting your profit? That was me. That was me. And I got tired of feeling like that. And I know some of y'all here feel that way too. You're feeling it, it's in your heart and it hurts, and you got to cancel it out, right? Keep doing the wrong thing more than once. Time after time, your brain shuts itself off and it'll tell you to go opposite. Okay. Trust your analysis. That's it, Mr. Anthony. What I teach my people is this. We say no's and yeses to our strategy. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go, y'all. I have a 3-step yes system. That's my 6-hour strategy. So it's a 3-step yes system. If you get 3 yeses, you have given yourself permission to enter the trade. That's it. Give yourself permission to enter the trade. The moment you get one no, you have no trade. That's it. We have to say yes to the trend. We have to say yes to price touching our structure. And we have to say yes to price giving us permission to enter the trade by it being a price action candlestick that tells us to enter. But guess what? If you can't see the trend, it's a no. If you can see the trend but price isn't at our estimation zone, it's a no. We have no trades. But when I get 3 yeses, I put up the threes and we in that thing. And I don't let my people say no to being wrong in the trade. No, you're not wrong if you follow your rules. No, you're not. Let the trade do its thing, and that's it. That's how we trust our analysis. That's it. You can't do nothing else besides those 3 things. That's the only thing we can control, saying yes. That's it. Okay. I'm about to go. Okay. I love you guys. I thank you guys for joining me. Once again, if you need me, y'all, YouTube land, the link is in the bio to book a call with me. If you're on TradingView, you can inbox me and we can have a quick chat if you want to work with me. Okay. Uh I got some clients to answer to, as a matter of fact. Oh, my people in the community as well. We are back testing tonight. We're back testing high volatility inside bars on the daily, 8 hour and 12 hour as well tonight. Miss Diva asked, I'm on the website just to clarify. I book a discovery call and a 1 hour call. Book a call for what you want to do with me, sweetheart. Do you want me to help you one on one really quick for 1 hour with one main problem? That's to fix my strategy. If you want to work with me for 6 full weeks, mind you, the 6 full weeks is me teaching you my structure, my strategy, my system, and then having you trade it after a few weeks, helping you build out a trading plan, and then a full organized trading plan for when you want to go to prop firms. That's a discovery call because I need to see your trading problems, all of your trading problems, not just one. This is how this differ. Discovery call is everything included. 101, the fix my strategy is 1 hour for one main problem, mama. So that's for everybody here as well. Okay, that's for everybody here as well. All right. Hey, I've blown the 80,000. Well, first I want to know why you blew $80,000. Like, let's talk about that. Why did you blow $80,000? What prompted you to do that? Like, why? Why would you do that? Thanks for clarifying. I do. You are very much welcome, Miss Diva, and I will see you inside our 101. Okay. Why did you blow 80,000? Okay, let me ask it this way. I'm so sorry. That is so rude. I did not mean to ask that. I'm so sorry. What led to you blowing $80,000? Let me ask it that way. What led to that? What was it? Mainly greed. Let's talk about greed. Let's talk about greed for a quick second. Okay. What led you to be greedy? Is it a life pressure? Like you got to pay bills for something? You're trying to get money quickly? Like what was it? Let's talk about it. Okay. Um, because what I've learned about greed, there are two types of greed. You can have good greed, bad greed. I'm gonna talk about bad greed first. When it comes to bad greed is you not respecting capital because of personal issues. Okay. The personal issue could be, and this is not you in particular, sweetheart. I'm talking about in general. In general, you're not a good manager of your money in real life. Therefore, you're not a good manager of funds and trading. That's okay. It could be, it could be ego. You want to prove a point. It's ego. It could be you think you got it, but clearly something's wrong. Okay. It could be one of those things. I was way too confident. See, ego. It's one. I didn't even read that. Ego. I gotta look down. Y'all see how I said that right without looking down. I said that. It's ego. You gotta fix the ego. When you fix the ego issue, you fix the risk management issue. When you fix the ego to say, if I can risk 1% of 80,000, that's $800 per trade that you'll risk, knowing you'll make more than 800. If you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward, you're gonna make $1,600, depending on the take profit. Right? What's wrong with $1,600 from one trade if you make it? Right? If it's a 1 to 3, that's $2,400. If it's a 1 to 4, you see where I'm going with that? So, just think about that. What's wrong with risking a small percentage? Because once again, in trading, you got defense, you have offense. When you're on offense and everything is working for you, you risk in this game. But to blow 80,000, I believe that's demo. Because if that was real money, I pray you got 80,000 more to put in the account. You okay? You see what I'm going with that? Um, you said you had $100,000 goal. I wanted, and see, there you go. You wanted to get it too quickly, right? That's ego. That is ego. Ego kills a trading career. Ego kills it. Best way to gain, and I'm praying that was demo. Okay, just start the demo over, and this time go over your numbers. If I have $80,000 to not blow my account, what amount should I risk per trade? And just ask yourself, realistically, how much do you want to make a month? And then you start from there. I always ask people, don't start with how much you want to trade with. Ask yourself how much you want to make a month. Then you find your numbers. You got to work backwards again. We work backwards in this thing, okay? Work backwards. Someone said, well, just because Rain blew $100,000, hopefully your psychology gets better. I pray so too. Do you have back testing 101 sessions? Miss Joy, if you that's what those sessions are. Yes, ma'am. Those fixed mind strategy sessions are all back testing sessions. I want to test your theories and your knowledge with you so you can trade it in real time. That's a thing. I think that sometimes some people get not just you, Mr. Just in general. I'm going back in general, you guys. I think sometimes people get back testing and actually forward trading wrong or confused. Back testing is when you're testing a result, right? You're testing how well you would do. Because if the market performed one way in history, you got to understand and believe that it could do the same thing in real time, because real time trading becomes history, right? I can't stand when people say, well, I don't back test because that's in the past. But what you trade today becomes the past too. You see where I'm going with that? So, yes, we every whatever main problem you're having, we're gonna back test it out so I can give you a solution in real time. Y'all catch that, right? I pray y'all catch that. Okay. um it's real. I can show you the proof. You won't believe from where I started to get to. We don't need proof. You just heard that you blew 80,000 of real money. My heart dropped for you. Okay. We don't need no proof of that you blew that, baby. You was honest about that thing. That if you got 20,000 left over, the thing you need to do with that 20,000 is preserve it. Okay. Preserve. You're on defense. Y'all see how God works? We just talked about that. You're on defense. You're no longer on offense. You're trading on defense right now. You got to keep the money that you have and make it back respectfully, respecting the market. We just talked about that. How beautiful, right? Do you have a mentor or coach? If not, you need one. She said it. There's no way a coach or mentor would have that. Is right. Let me tell y'all something. I have one rule. If my clients are on here, they would tell y'all. My number one rule is if you blow an account, I cannot teach you under. If you're under my teachings, if you blow an account, I do not teach you. Now, it is different if you're in a prop firm. That's difference. That's a difference because you actually have a limit. If you didn't pass that challenge, I'm gonna still teach you because those are things are not easy to pass, right? But if you had an outright amount and it went from that amount to zero, oh you tried my patience now. You tried me. That's how I feel. You literally tested me, right? You said I have no respect for your time. You see where I'm going with that? There's no reason anyone should blow an account under proper teaching. No way. No way. And that's why prop firms do real good. Yes, YouTube, you guys, I'm about to get out of here because people on trading on Instagram, they want to keep coming over, y'all. It's okay. I have more than 7 years in trading. I can do it again. It's always the same problem. I'm too confident in myself. That's why. No, 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 no. You don't. No, 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 no. Confidence is good. No, no, no. Confidence in yourself is good. Not respecting risk management is the problem. It's not a confident issue. It's not a confident issue. Those two are two separate things. I love having confidence in my gift. You should always have confidence in your gift, but you gotta respect the risk management of it. That's why we're in this game. No, 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 no. You gotta respect risk management. I want y'all to go find this book. I tell all my people this. Market Wizards by Jack Schwager, or however you say his name. Market Wizards. Go get that book. The reason why you want that book, you guys, is because in that book, what he talks about, he interviewed, and these are traders back in the 70s and 80s. I call them old heads, respectfully. Very respectfully, that's what I call them. But these are the traders who came before us. And they talk about accounts they blew, the money they risked, all of that, right? And what I want you guys to do is go find the audio book and listen to it when you're driving, listen to it on your off day, listen to it when you're working out, whatever the case may be. Listen to the risk management game they teach. And all of them would say, don't risk more than 1% of your account. And some of them at most say they don't even risk more than 3% of their equity. Because if you had a one, yes, market would just thank you, a $100,000 account, if you risk a 1%, you're risking $1,000 per trade. If you're risking $1,000 per trade, imagine having a low stop loss. Imagine having a 30 pip, no, let's just say 50 pip stop loss. Already, your lot size is 20. Is $20 per pip. Two standard lot sizes. Y'all see where I'm going? Now imagine you can make you're risking 50 pips to gain 200 pips. That is $4,000 in one trade. What's wrong with that? And all you did was risk 1%. Y'all see where I'm going? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down, right? Everybody got that. Everybody got that. Your numbers matter, but you got to be okay with what you can make. Be okay with what you can make. Okay. Matthew, oh, I love that. Matthew 25:21. Faithful over a little. There you go. Hey, watch this. Matthew 25:14 through 29. That whole parable of gold or the talent. That's what it comes down to. Thanks a lot. It's LFX. I'm gonna use my name, Shaquan. Thank you, baby. This time I turn things around. I'll be better in my psychology technically. I think that I'm one of the best psychology. I'm one of the best psychology. I'm the worst. It's okay. We've all been there. I've been there. You're not alone. You're not alone. So it's okay. Okay. Yes, add that book to your list. I got more books for y'all to do to study and stuff too when I come back with more trainings. Okay. We'll talk about more books and more people as well. Do you trade funded accounts? Yes, I do. I trade FTMO and Funded Trading Plus. I do those two. I don't know about my funded my is it my Forex, my funded for my MFL. There we go. I don't know. I know the name of it. So yeah. Trading you here you go. Instagram, I ain't got no audio on here. I'm gonna have to run y'all up later. I hope y'all can go to YouTube because my audio is messed up on here. All right. So yeah, my forest funds. There you go. Thank you, sweetie. My forest funds. That's what it was. I know it was something. I know it was something. So yes, I've passed multiple accounts. I've failed multiple accounts. I'm in another another prop firm right now. I'm trying out another one right now. It's going pretty decently. So yeah, and I still have my own account. I'm not traded that much, but I still have my own personal funds as well. So yeah, I'm new to your channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Shaquan. See you on a better note. Peace. Do you have programs? I teach everything myself. I don't sell courses. I have a community. I teach one-on-one. I teach group coaching. Yes. Yes, I do. Market widgets on YouTube. Beautiful. Yeah. So y'all, listen. Make sure y'all are following me on I'm gonna put it here on TradingView as well. This is my username. So make sure you guys are following me there too. And once again, y'all, if y'all want to book a call with me, make sure y'all go to my website as well. I'm about to put it in the group here too. Okay. And if you want to get a one-on-one with me to help fix a specific problem, and you have to be very specific about the problem, make sure you get a fix my strategy session. All right. And I just seen two people book it. So good job for the two people who booked it. So make sure you get my fix my strategy session. And if you want to be a person who joins my community and who has me teach them personally, that's a discovery call because it's a bigger investment. And I walk you through everything myself. I'm not about to sit here and let a course do that for you. I'm going to do it myself because that way I can hear you. I can teach you. I can talk to you. I can give you assignments. We back test together. I run you through everything. All right. So yeah, y'all. But I do gotta go. All right. So use that website. Go book it. It should be the second tab. What is the second tab name? Y'all see that? I do this so much, y'all. Uh, uh, uh. Let's get this tab up here. Go to my other one here. All right, it'll be under free discovery call and master classes. So it's either discovery call or a book my session. Just once you get there, scroll down. Okay. But I do gotta go, y'all. I gotta go eat lunch and I gotta go pick my daughter. All right. I love y'all. Y'all thank y'all for rocking with me. I'll be back here later on next week and we'll do another class. Y'all be blessed. Everybody have a good one.